right, we're live on Facebook, so we're hot, as they say. Alexa, stop. What's up, Sherry Quarterman? How are you? Alexa, stop.
You're live on both pages.
Yeah.
Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Facebook. All right, now I see that you're live.
What's happening, Facebook? Hey, we're going live in about 2 minutes, so excited to have you joining us today. Great show planned for you. Jamie, Colette, Daryl, Sherry, Joe, Mark, Bobby, Sean. What up, Jamie?
Is that Colette Beaton calls?
What up, Kathy? Brett, how we doing? Ditto, young lady. Let's hang out.
That one?
Yeah. Much better than last week, though. Much better.
Change some things up. Got some different stuff.
We got the little pulley thing off the thing.
Yep.
I wonder if that's what it was.
Yep. So this is cool. Rolling through.
Scrolling, right?
Yep. All right, so I got 4 things that I learned. Do you want me to just say through?
You got it.
I'm not saying bankruptcy one.
What's cooking, Gumbo Nation? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Dwayne Stein, the Gulf South Mortgage Authority. If you want to join the show, 504-260-0995. If you want to just hang out with us, Facebook.com/Mortgage Gumbo /Dwayne Stein, iHeartRadio app, Gregory Ricks' Winning at Life app, or just look for that chef hat in the sky to replace the Batman sign. This is your home show, 5+ years of mortgage and home-related advice, bringing you education and options. Also, if you want to know what's going on, what events we've got coming up, and different things like that, go sign up for the Rue newsletter. Go to mortgagegumbo.com and sign up for the Rue newsletter, okay? It's got all kinds of advice. You can follow podcasts there. It's got updates. Our goal is to continue. I told you in 2020 was to present you with more of me, which means more education and more options. That brings me to February the 12th. February the 12th. Let's just start off the show. Bing, bang, boom. February the 12th, our credit webinar. Okay? Go to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Name, phone number, and email so you could get. We've got a ton of people signing up. This is a webinar, which means on the 12th, you will get a link of this awesome event that breaks down credit, getting you credit ready, the credit fundamentals, scores, all that stuff. You want to be part of this. Even if you've got good credit, hey, we'll talk about how to improve those things. So again, February 12th, it's a Wednesday. Sign up for the webinar at info@mortgagegumbo.com. Okay? And name, phone number, and email. On the show today, as you know, February is what I have deemed the last couple years, get your credit in check month. So this entire month, we are telling you credit fundamentals, how credit scores come about, how a FICO score is driven. We're going to break that down. So today you're going to have a little piece of pie, right? So those who aren't driving right now, go get a pen, get a piece of paper, and draw a circle on a piece of paper, and then be ready, because we're going to break down how a credit score comes about and what those credit fundamentals are. Okay? This entire month, you're going to walk out. It's a leap year. So you get an extra Saturday of February, which means I get to give you one more week of just credit greatness. Okay? So you're not going to want to miss that. That is for sure. We'll have the podcast up. You can always visit mortgagegumbo.com. Click on past shows, and those podcasts are uploaded. Sammy the intern is back with us this week. Sammy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chef.
So Sammy is going to put together, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about, Sammy is going to be what I learned. Each week that he's on the show, he's going to kind of tell you what he learned. As a, is novice the right word? Is that right? A novice, or is a novice like somebody that has a lot of experience? See, I try to use these big words.
Novice is more of an expert.
As expert. Okay. So there we go.
Like,
Sammy the intern didn't know, this is live radio, didn't know he's got to turn his mic on. So so Sammy he's taking the approach for you, the listener, right? I've been doing this 25 plus years. So some things that come natural to me, I want to make sure that I'm getting that message to you where you fully understand that. So Sam this week, Sam the intern, he's going to tell you what he learned this week. Guys like attached to my leg all during the week. It's like that dog when you lay your leg down and hangs out.
Won't go away.
Yeah, right. He's just right there. So it's good though. He's learning. So he's going to share a lot of that stuff with you as well.
Well, Dwayne, I just wanted to bring it, when you talk things about mortgages and credit, you're using the technical terms with clients. Now, when you tell it to me, I want to tell it to the listener on not a dumber down basis, but more, just casual conversation where they can understand it on a different level, and you come back in and technicalize it and, fine tune it.
Well, and I think that's a great point. That's why I kind of have you as part of the show right now, because I think what's important is that we do just that, right? Acronyms that I use or different things, when we start doing those things and I start breaking things down and I'm talking about DTI, you're going to be able to go, well, listen, instead of DTI, what is that? It's debt to income ratio. So I start rattling, right? But you're going to be able to break those things down so we can better explain it to our audience, the agents that are watching, the clients that are listening. So we've got all that stuff. So Sammy the intern is going to bring that in. Get used to these words. You've been hearing it for years, but we've got some amazing news that's going to be coming out in April. Okay? We will continue. You trust Mortgage Gumbo when it comes to purchasing your home, refinancing your home, reverse mortgages. Heck, I gave 3 agents this week listings, and I gave 4 agents buyers just from this week. So when you want to list your home, you're calling me. When you want to buy, you're calling me. Well, guess what? We're even taking it a step further. So keep remembering total home authority. Okay? Mortgage Gumbo is going to be, no matter where you are, who you're with, when it has to deal with your home, we're going to have you covered. Whether it's painting, roofing, electrical, heck, trees removed, fencing, AC, plumbing, you name it, we have you taken care of. Okay? So anything that you need with the home, do not hesitate. Call me during the day job, 504-207-7600. If you want to join the show today, 504-260-0995. And we talk about schmuckatellis, right? And it's taken on callers now call and go, hey, I don't want to get smuckatelli, right? So help me out. Or, hey, I was dealing with this smuckatelli. See, smuckatelli can be a verb. It could be a noun. But here's a story that happened this week that I want to share with you. And it's the reason why you have to work with someone, right? It's almost like that agent that is also a school teacher. We don't have anything against them. But I can promise you, when you come to me to get somebody to sell your house, or you get somebody that you want to represent you as a buyer, it's not going to be a part-time agent, right? It's going to be a full-time agent or realtor. Well, when you deal with some of these smuckatellis at these banks, at these lending institutions where, number one, they're not required to be licensed, right? They are, maybe they were working at a hardware store the week before, and now all of a sudden they're doing lending advice. So this week, had a client give me a call, okay, buying a $565,000 house, okay? They do very well for themselves, okay? They went and were working with a bank that's where they keep their money and stuff. So they assume, well, if they got my money, they get something that in the mail with a little certificate that says, hey, we do mortgage loans. So they went to the bank. Here's where the story gets interesting. This is a married couple doing well for themselves. They are relocating to Louisiana, okay? And so what's going on here is, as they're relocating, got a transfer in jobs, they're looking to move back home. Well, they go to their bank. Well, the bank is selling them $565,000 house, telling them they have to do a jumbo loan. All right, we go over rates every week and we'll discuss that. And jumbo predominantly requires a little bit more than some other loan programs. So on $565,000, I'll do the math for you. They told them they needed 20% because it is a jumbo loan. So that's $113,000. It's a lot of money. Do they have the money? Yes, they do. But if you listen to this show, you understand that cash is king, right? We like to keep cash in your pocket. So the agent that's working with these folks says, listen, give my guy a call and let's just see what the different options may be. Here's where it gets interesting. Because the person at the bank did not know that January 1st, the jumbo loan limit went up. In 2019, it was $484,500. Well, in 2020, that loan limit has gone up. Okay? So what they did not understand is now it's $510,000. 511, right up in there. So they're telling them they got to put down 20% to get all the way below the $484,000. When we were able to have them put down 10%, and use the fuzzy math here, right? 10% is half of 20%. So if you had to put down 113,000, whatever half that number is, 56.5, right? I was able to keep in their pocket. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, then they had to pay private mortgage insurance because they didn't put down 20%. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to pay private mortgage insurance if you don't put down 20%. We have options. So they put down 10%, which was $56,500, bought out their mortgage insurance for $4,800. Because it's not jumbo, they're getting a 0.25% cheaper interest rate, and they went on to contract yesterday. So my point of this is not to beat the chest, but listeners, when it comes to purchasing a home, do you really want to use that person who does not know? That person who's not vetted, that person who isn't like me and every one of my loan officers, even my processors, I require to stay educated every single year and do the training. So this person is they're saving themselves over $50,000, getting a cheaper interest rate, and still get in the home of their dreams. So that is a Smuckatelli moment. So knowledge is power, and you've got to trust somebody, lenders who know what's going on, but more importantly, that are giving you what's best for you. I'm not upset with the person who's trying to sell it, because all they were trying to do was just sell what their company offers. Have somebody that looks out for you. Hey, on the other side of the break, we're going to get into some good stuff. We're going to find out what Sam the intern learned this week. And we got a lot more. It's all about credit today, how credit works. So draw that circle on a piece of paper for that pie. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
Good morning, Mr. Tim.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, buddy. What up, Dan Blanc, the Fence King, hanging out with us. Mary Kemp, John, Kelly, Sherry, Jennifer. Congratulations on your boy. Stud. Glad he's going to be local. Can hang out and watch him play next year. Christian Westcott, player of the year. What up, KK, Candle? Carol. What up, Kyle? We got to get you in here. Let me know your schedule. McNair, the Purple Knight, Mark Fontenot, Yuki. What up, Candace? How you doing, young lady? Brad Stevens. Lauren, the neighbor. What's up? What up, Peyton, if you're listening, brother? Kathy, what's happening? Claude, the Mortgage Man Mayor, hanging out with us. Big Tim. What up, Teresa, Renee, Leslie?
Yeah, my friend told me that last week Westcott committed.
Hey, what's up, Regina? How you doing?
To Southeastern for baseball and football.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So check them out, Strawberry Stadium.
You know. Hey, we'll do the we'll do Jeremy, we'll do Rate Watch sometime in this segment. No, I cannot. Are you doing it on the brick? Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. To call in.
Just like the number you give, is the same people the number I give to clients whenever I talk to them?
Mm-hmm.
207-7600.
Not to call in.
Not to call in. That's not the number.
No.
All right.
You need to call in.
Yeah.
Okay. 260-0995.
That's what I was asking.
My producer, Jeremy Porcine, is rocking it. We got a dance party going on. We got the 70s, early 80s vibe going. Yes, indeed. We got a little fake the funk on a nasty dunk going on. Welcome back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. If you want to join the show, 504-260-0995. So Sammy has a Sammy intern, as we've affectionately labeled him here, he's your voice, listeners. He is your voice. So what I want him to talk about right now is he came up with an idea of, you know what? I'm learning this mortgage stuff. How about if I share what we do during the week? So these are things that he's picked up and, kind of go there. If you want to check out the show on Facebook, hey, check out facebook.com/Mortgage Gumbo, facebook.com/Dwayne Stein. We've got 60 plus people hanging out with us right now. So, hey, great to see you there. If you're driving, obviously, hey, keep your eyes on the road. Don't go look down at Facebook. You're getting me right through those beautiful speakers of yours. So keep it where you hear it. right? So
keep it where it's safe.
keep it where, right. There we go. So, all right, Sammy, this is your, don't blow it. Don't choke. This is your deal. Let's hear what you learned this week. Let's see what my time and efforts get you.
So this week, like you said, it's credit month coming up. That's all we talk about, credit, credit, credit. So I learned there's 3 types of debt: revolving debt, installment debt, and a mortgage.
Okay.
So revolving debt is like a credit card that you pay every month. Installment can be a student loan or a medical bill, and clearly a mortgage is your house note. So there's 3 different types. It affects you differently.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about today, when we break down credit, we're going to talk about new credit and types of credit, right? Because a lot of people think credit card debt is bad for you. It's not. It's how you manage it. So we're going to talk about that.
Yep.
All right. What else you learned?
So if you open too many cards or the wrong cards when you were younger, like say you're in college, I'm going to talk about that later, mistakes college students make. If you open a student card, when you're 25 and you're not a student anymore, don't close it. Just leave it open. Put it in your drawer. Don't pay it, because when you close it, that could hurt your score, right?
I have a client right now that I'm working with that we are going to get her score up, okay? But she had a credit card, and it's like a $240 balance that it dropped her score over 100 points because she closed it out because she wanted to show them, because she was disagreeing with what was going on, what they were charging her in fees. So she went and closed this thing out. Plus they have a report and past due. So 100 points. Luckily the husbands were going to be able to still make the loan work, but we got to do some different things. Yeah. But credit history is 15% of your credit score, which we're going to go over today, is your length of credit history. So you don't want to close these things out. You don't have to use them, but keep them open. Keep them open. Something you've had open 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 25 years old. You got that credit card when you were 18, when you're walking around campus, and it's like, hey, you get a $20 drink coupon. You're like, I'll sign up for that.
Free laundry bag or whatever.
Right, whatever it is, right? So you signed up for it, and here you are. So we want to make sure from there, when we're looking at that, what those options are. So, hey, let's go to Joe on the West Bank. He's got a refinance question. Go ahead, Joe. Uh-huh. Yep. All right. Yep. Okay. Well, with rates being at 3-year lows right now, 4-year lows right now, it's probably worth us, Mr. Joe, looking at it, okay? With that being said, if you're paying extra to principal, kudos to you having that availability. We can chat. Call me during the day job, 504-207-7600. However, Mr. Joe, what I want you to understand as well is if you're paying extra, let's also talk about biweekly. So we can discuss that, where we can look at an amortization, put you on maybe a whatever you're paying extra. Let's lower that term. We're not going to do a refinance and put you back out on 30 years. Let's look at a 20-year term. Let's look at a 15-year term. So not only do you pay less for your house, but then when we put you on the biweekly, you pay less interest as well, right? So we could cut all those terms. And based on where we're at with interest rates with your credit score, we can do much, much, much better than that 4.75, right? So that way, that much more is going towards your principal balance as well, Mr. Joe. So call me during the week, Monday, give me a shout. Let's chat about it personally, man, and let's look at it. We may be able to look at some things where I go, hey, if you do this and this, you're going to be okay. But call me during the day job, man, 504-207-7600, and let's see what we can get done for you, my man. Thank you, Mr. Joe. Thank you for listening and being part of Mortgage Gumbo. All right, Sammy, so Don't close out credit cards is where we're at,
Yeah,
right? Absolutely.
Don't close them.
Credit history is super important. What else you learned?
And one more thing on that. Like 2 years ago, I opened 2 cards just to kind of grow my available credit. It was paying for school and stuff like that. I didn't really know. I couldn't put it all in one card or 2 cards. And then I asked you and I said, Dwayne, should I close these 2 accounts out? I don't need them anymore. Like I was kind of almost done through school. And you're like, don't close them. Leave them, put them in your drawer and just let it sit. So now I know, because I would have went and closed them and my score would have dropped.
Well, and what you want to do is, even if you don't, I don't want to say don't ever use them, but number one, look at and go negotiate what kind of annual fees do you have on them, right? Because if it's one of these deals where it's $100 annual fee, go negotiate with them. But every now and then, maybe take that credit card out and go put a tank or 2 of gas on it. Because what you don't want the credit card company to do is, and this happens also, if you don't use the card and it's just static and you do just throw it in the drawer, the credit company can't. Now, if you got no balance on it, it's okay, but they can take you from a $500 limit down to $250, right? They may decide, you know what, inactivity, we're going to close this out on their end. So those credit cards, while you do not want to close them out, it's okay to use them, but just use them. Don't get yourself in debt and all of a sudden go, oh, I forgot. Look, I found this Mickey Mouse card in my drawer here. I'm going to go run up a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go get me some surround sound or something like that. So sort of be careful with that. Anything else you learned?
Last thing. So the credit system is not a one-size-fits-all system.
Absolutely not.
Not me and you apply at the same time. We're not getting the same score. We're not getting the same card. Me and my friend that are in different financial positions, we're not going to get the same deal. So some people can't even get a card. You got to do certain things with the bank to, get a history and prove that you can deserve one. Yeah. But you're not going to, you don't all start at a 700 credit score. No. Is what I'm trying to say.
No. And credit is right up there with air and water, right? It's very important. So we are going to, that's why we do this. That's why we want to make sure that we're sharing this with you. And that's where the credit monitoring that all these services offer, that now they went from credit monitoring to credit advice. Stick to what they know, right? So that's one of the things there. So good stuff there. Hey, let's get into our weekly segment we like to call Rate Watch. Rate Watch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's first handcrafted vodka. Had a couple last night, just to keep the flow going. Interest rates. What a great way to start off the month of February. We are at 3-year lows. Woo! Yay! Woo! That is amazing. There we go. Nice. So if you are sitting on the sideline, I don't know why. 3-year lows. Listen to these numbers just from January, right? Just from the beginning of the year. 30-year was at 3.73. It's now at 3.47. What? 15-year was at 3.37. It's at 3.13. I locked several people in yesterday. Under 3%. They bought some discount points down and we got them below 3%. It is an absolute giveaway program. It's stealing without a gun. Ever thought about robbing a bank? Rob me. I'm giving money away. FHA 3.33 down from 3.37. Jumbo 3.61. How great is that? But just to give you an idea, we talked about the Smuckatelli earlier. So look at right there, 30-year 3.47, Jumbo 3.61, right? So when we talked about we were able to save them over 0.25% on their rate, there you get an idea right now. And the difference is me knowing what the heck's going on versus the other person. And then the old 5-1 arm. For those who think that an adjustable rate mortgage is the way to go, silly willies, it's not. Beginning of the year, 1 month ago was at 3.42. It's at 3.37. You are less than 10 basis points on a 30-year conventional loan versus a 5-1 adjustable rate mortgage. You would be absolutely berserk to consider a 5-1 arm. I don't care if you're military, if you got relocated, you're not sure. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. That would be silly. Way silly. So, again, 3.47 on the 30, 15 at 3.13, FHA 3.3, Jumbo 3.61, and a 5.1 arm. World strike, impeachment, coronavirus. It's all helping with the rates right now. Not to mention just all around great economy. Hey, when we come back on the other side of the show, we're going to start getting into credit. Get your pen out. Get your notebook paper. We're going to change lives today. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. What up, Tammy Randolph, Matthew, Jerry, Glenn, Bo?
Man. Yeah, this looks way better.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
The only reason I put the bar here is because it kind of kills that shadow.
Yeah, but that's...
It's not needed.
We're good. Yeah.
So I'm assuming the film stuff's at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Facebook Live. Hey, Jake Bonin checking in. Good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Trying to learn about credit.
Nothing wrong with that.
Might be ready to buy a house soon. I don't know.
Let's do it. These all Mortgage Gumbo?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where I'm watching that. Yeah, Mortgage Gumbo.
Cool. I gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Aloha. Okay. All right. Hit him with a test.
Testing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right.
How's the heat on the mic? I mean the light.
Huh?
How's the heat on the light?
All right. But we'll get there. We'll work through it. It's not bad.
Yeah, I feel like it's not. I'm good.
Yeah, it's fun. I have no doubt, though, if that was a daylight light like that, it'd be much better.
Like white light?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can go return.
Yeah.
You know. But he said that wasn't even LED, so that's producing heat too. It's
Really?
just producing white. Yeah, he said I showed him the pictures. Like that's not you don't have LED anyways. So
That's part of the issue.
I was like, all right.
So we need to get some LED.
So LED is gonna have no.
Yeah.
That was the strongest bulb they had. About to go back alive.
Hey, Jeremy, cut that music down at like 7 seconds too, or just lower it down. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Christy? What up, Glossman? Thank you, brother. So what we're going to figure out is through the software is, see, I think when they're hearing me talk to Jeremy, right now they're hearing me and going, who's he talking to?
Yeah.
I think they like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like the live.
What up, Tanya? mean, we got Lafayette in the house. We got Florida in the house. I mean, of course, we got Louisiana represented. I mean, this show's just growing.
We're growing.
We got cities. We got states. We're everywhere. The bottom says, amazing in bed. I could sleep for hours.
I need a Sammy the Intern t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. We're getting you ready for credit. We're getting you in the mood. Relax. The answers you have been seeking are about to be brought to you by Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. If you want to join the show, like Joe from the West Bank did in the earlier segment, 504-260-0995. So today, the month of February, tune in here. If you're in and out of your car, if you're unsure, go visit mortgagegumbo.com. Click on past shows. We are about to educate you. This is the education piece of Mortgage Gumbo. Okay? But I want to remind you, if you want to get all this information in one night, February 12th, we're having our credit webinar. Simply send an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. In that email, I need you to send name, phone number, and email address. And you'll get a link on February 12th that is going to teach you everything you need to know about credit. Everything. Our goal is to have everybody, I don't care if your scores a 700. Maybe we could get it to a 740. But if you know somebody or unaware, I know most people think they know everything about credit. You might want to maybe a guy that's got 25 plus years experience of helping people with credit. Maybe you can learn a thing or two. Here's the beauty. It's at your convenience. On that day, we're going to send you this special link that you'll be able to watch or listen to and chill out and enjoy everything you need to know. So what we're talking about today, I've told you. Now, if you're driving, don't do it. But if you're at home and you're listening, draw a circle. If you're driving, imagine just drawing a big circle on a piece of paper. What we're about to do is make credit. We're going to turn it in. Everybody loves food. So we're going to turn it into almost like a piece of pie. Okay? And break down how FICO scores come about. But first, what is credit? Let's just the fundamentals, right? What is credit? Okay? Number one, credit is going to determine rates, loan programs, insurance costs. We've had the queen of insurance on here talking about how credit determines your insurance costs. But what credit basically is a reminder of good and bad decisions you've made throughout your life, throughout your experience. Okay? So tonight, what I want to do for some of you who've maybe made a bad decision, I want to give you a crystal ball. I'm going to give you a crystal ball so we can focus on the future. So you have a place that you can go, I need to learn how to improve my score. Okay? That's what you're going to get right now. And I want to start by saying every single person listening, I do not buy when I talk to a client and I say, what is your credit score? I don't know. You're fibbing. Every single person should be signed up for some type of free, F-R-E-E, credit monitoring program. I didn't say credit repair. I said credit monitoring. So Credit Karma, freecreditreport.com, CreditWise. I use American Express. Somebody should have their credit should be monitored at all times. So there's no excuse for you not to be aware of what's going on with your credit. Don't wait until you're ready to make a loan or until you're ready to buy a car, a home, etc. Apply for a card and go, well, that's not mine. That's a mistake. You don't want to wait till you apply for something to find out your credit's all jacked up. So let's get into this delicious piece of credit a la mode pie we've got for you today. So that circle's drawn, and I want you to take about 35% of that circle and draw a triangle, because that comes down to what is your payment history. 35% of your score is based on payment history. It doesn't get more basic than that, right, folks? So how well do you pay your bills? Do you have 30-day lates, 60-day lates, 90-day lates, right? Do you have a judgment? Do you have a lien? Collections. Mayor Cantrell, maybe you should be listening. Not paying her taxes. Can only imagine what her credit score looks like. Bankruptcies, foreclosures. Sam, you learned this week. How long does a bankruptcy stay on your credit?
7 to 10 years max, right?
7 to 10 years.
Yep.
So that doesn't mean that you can't qualify for a loan until 7 or 10 years. What that means is it's going to affect your score, because that's a representation of your payment history.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that's probably the worst thing you can have on there, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, sure. But here's what I want people to understand. I'm not beating you. There is not a human being on earth, I truly believe, that goes out and gets credit and says, I'm going to get this credit so I can, so wait, I could say this where I'm able to remain on radio. So I can
mess my score up.
Drown in debt
myself.
and not I want to
ruin my history.
Ruin my credit.
Ruin my credit. Yeah.
I'm not going to pay the creditor. There's not a person out there. But see, what most lenders do is they throw you to the wayside when you don't qualify. Heck, they might not even call you back. But see, we don't say no, we say how. So if you're not aware in your credit, we're going to figure out how to get you credit qualified, okay, for a loan. So when it comes to your payment history, you've got to understand. Now, this week, we're breaking down how score comes about. Next week, I'm going to teach you some tricks of the trade on how to get those scores up, right? How to trick the system, how to beat the system, yeah. Right? How to manipulate a score to where we can get it where we need it to be so you can get that better rate or qualify for that better program. This week, we're just breaking down overall how it comes about. So 35% of your pie. So if you're drawing it, you should have, like, if you started at 12 o'clock, you should be at like 20 after the hour right now. Your line. Now we're going to go to 30%. So now take your line draw another triangle. So you got your 20 after the hour. Go to 40 after 20 minutes till, or 40 after the hour. 30% of your of your score comes from what are the amounts owed. That is or better yet, your credit utilization. How well are you using your credit? You heard Sammy the intern. What did he learn this week? Installment debt is a type of debt. Revolving debt is a type of debt. And mortgage debt, right? So when you start talking about those things, the amount owed affects that. So you've got to understand when we're looking at that, those are things there. Those are things there that are going to affect everything. How well do you manage your money?
Are you living above your means? Are you able to pay your balance every month? Are you on time?
Right.
Or that kind of, you know what I mean?
Right. Or are you above your limit and you're getting a late pay and you're paying your minimums?
Yep.
So every month you're
interest.
Right. Or you're not at 30% of your credit limit. We'll get into that again next week. But those are the things that we're looking at. So if you have a credit limit of $1,000 on 2 credit cards and you're at $999 on each one, that's affecting 30% of your score is coming from that. So that is a tremendous amount. So right now, when you're looking at your circle, your piece of pie, 35%, more than half, 65% of your score is based on payment history and amount owed. So what we're going to cover when we come back from the break here is length of credit history, new credit, and types of credit. We've got a lot more to share with you. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. Susan, I got your question that you sent in to info@mortgagegumbo.com. I'll get to that when we come back on the other side of the break. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
Hope those pies are looking good at home for the Facebook listeners, right?
There you go.
Should be etched up. Couple more categories.
Smelling good.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't burn them. Don't burn your credit. Don't burn your pie.
There you go.
So once you finish that, we'll touch on the college stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Answer the question. What was the question?
She wants to know about 30, 60, and 90 days. Can you have those removed from your credit? Simple answer. No.
Oh, they don't go away. Not even after like a certain amount of time.
No. Life.
And a 30-day late, meaning when your bill's due on February 1st, if you don't pay it that day, you're late?
Now, what a 30-day late means is your bill's due on the 1st. Like every mortgage payment is, so X that.
Okay.
X that. Let's not me and you.
Yeah, got it.
Let's let everybody else hear that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Like you explain your question, say Dwayne, real quick.
Yeah.
30. All
Yeah.
right, got it. Let's do it.
All right, buddy. Cuz looking good from Jay Font.
Hey, my man.
Dan Blanc, the Fence King, hanging out with us today. Check out the Fence King, the man. All right. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. If you want to join the show, 504-260-0995. In our last segment, and today, this entire month, is Get Your Credit in Check. Got a question from Susan asks, can you have 30, 60, and 90 days late removed from your credit? The simple answer is no, you can't. That is the payment history part. That's why it's so important when it comes to credit to try not to get to that point. Because no, you cannot remove them. They'll always be there. Now, will they eventually not impact you as much? Yes, absolutely.
So real quick, Dwayne, to a 30-day late payment. So if my bill's due on February 1st and say I don't pay it February 1st, I'm like, oh, February 2nd, I forgot. Am I late?
No, not at all. Matter of fact, when it comes to, for instance, your mortgages are set up on the 1st of every month, right?
Okay.
You have the 15th before you're assessed a late charge. However, you have to the 30th of that month to make the payment. So 30 days late is if your payment, to go to your example, is on February 1st is your payment.
Okay.
You're not 30 days late until March 2nd or March 1st. Okay, so when somebody says, so a lot of times people go, oh, well, I'm late on my payment. No, you have a late fee, but you're not 30 days late yet.
Okay.
Which is important to know. I'm glad you bring that up. So for listeners, look, you may pay. I'd rather you pay a late fee than get the 30 days late.
Got it.
And say, well, I didn't pay by the 15th or the 20th, so I'm just not going to pay till next month. No. Pay the late fee, but don't get to a 30-day.
Now, second question on that. When you talk late, so I'm doing the first. Say my bill's $1,000, and I have a 20% interest rate on my card. Now I don't pay it. So do I get that $200 tacked on to the?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when I don't pay it that first day, the 200 is on it, right?
Well, your interest is accruing all the time on revolving debt.
Okay.
Right. It's just always accruing. So that's why it's important to make sure you pay your credit cards by a certain day. Because if you pay a credit card on the 5th one month, the 20th of the next month, you're going to have more interest that's going to be charged to you. So good question there, Susan. All right, let's get back. We've drawn out a pie. If you start at the 12 o'clock hour, we went down to the 20 after with payment history. Amount owed is the other 30%. So now we're at from 40 after the hour to about 15% of our credit. So now we're about at 10 minutes till. Okay? So 15% of your credit, and Sam brought this up earlier, is length of credit history. Do not close out old credit cards. You lose the entire credit history. So next week we're going to tell you this is an area where I improve credit scores every single week. This week we're breaking down what a score is. Next week you won't want to miss because I'm going to tell you how we improve your score. But 15% of your credit score comes from length of credit history. How old is your debt? Right? That is a tremendous piece there. Okay? What kind of debt? Are you established? Right? So you got to look at, from that standpoint, what we're looking at there is if you go and just because you go right now and get approved for a credit card, then you go buy a car. That's going to affect your score because now you're opening up a bunch of new debt. So you don't have that length of credit history. So you got to make sure that you manage that. So then we're at the 10 o'clock hour. Let's go from 8:50 or 9:50 to 9:55. 10% of your score is based on new credit. New credit. So this is where at Christmas time you walked in and they said, hey, we'll give you 10% off if you apply for a credit card. Or, hey, we're going to give you, there's 0% financing right now on automobiles, right? So this is new credit. This is inquiries, right? If you're out there applying with everybody, that is going to affect your score. 10%. All right? So it's not a tremendous hit, but it's 10%. So if you go get, let's say that you don't have a bunch of credit history, and then you go open up 2 or 3 new things, it's going to affect your score a lot more than the person that's got 20 years of credit. They've been paying Sears $5 a month since 1970. Right? It's going to affect them a lot more than it would that person who's maybe had their mortgage for 20 plus years. Or even Joe, who called it earlier, who's had his mortgage for 8 years. Okay? So keep those things in mind when it comes to that. Okay? Next. So now we're down to our final piece of pie. So now we go from 5 minutes to the hour to the top of the hour. we've circled around. This is another little sliver of pie. It's that piece of pie that you're like, this isn't much, but it still has that same great taste.
That last piece.
That last piece. And this is types of credit. What we mean there is if you have 10 credit cards and you pay them all on time, you're not going to have as good a score as the person that maybe has 3 credit cards and 2 installment accounts and mortgage debt. It comes back to, Sammy, what you talked about earlier when everybody's not the same. Yep. Right? You could have 10 pieces of credit, and listeners, this is important for you to understand. Because a lot of these smuckatellis out there go, just go get a secured credit card. No. If you've already got 5 credit cards, go and get a secured credit card. Gonna do diddly poop for you.
Yeah, nothing.
So, as Sammy alluded to earlier, everybody's not painted with the same brush. So if I have 10 pieces of credit, but they're divided up between a mortgage, an automobile, maybe a personal loan or 2, and some credit cards.
Or a medical bill
Well, we don't want medical bills because if that shows up on credit, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, but that's...
So medical bills, really, in regardless, the only time you ever know what a medical bill is, and I'm glad you bring that up, okay, because that's important to bring up. Only time you know, me or you will ever know about medical bills for people is if it's on a credit report.
Got it. That's where I've only seen them. That's why I'm saying something.
Exactly. So see, and
now.
That's a great point because you're thinking, hey, that's another type of debt.
I thought it was an installment.
No, that's a bad thing.
Bad thing.
Right? So if we see medical on a credit bureau, that means somebody's didn't pay a bill.
Okay.
So I've got mixed use debt versus the person that's got the same amount of credit out there. They've got 10 pieces of credit, yet they have all credit cards. My score is going to be much higher. Doesn't matter if it's the same term. Doesn't matter if they've had the same, opened everything the same day, just a different type. So that's why types of credit is so important. And why you want to be able to balance between installment debt versus revolving debt or secured versus unsecured. Okay? Very, very important to understand that point.
So it's almost like kind of like the stock market, diversity is king, right? You want different stuff, not everything to be the same.
Absolutely. You got it. It doesn't, and that's where there's so much misinformation about credit and these credit repair companies.
Yeah.
The first thing these credit repair companies, and many of you listening, I've talked to you and you've been duped. You've been smuckatelli. And the fact that they will tell you immediately, oh, let's go and pay me X amount of money and I'll go in and I will dispute everything for you. Well, that disputing affects everything.
Yeah, probably not good to do that.
Takes away your credit history, takes away all those things. And while it may be a little bit of fool's gold and your credit score looks better, it looks better for reporting purposes, not when you come to me as a lender, because a lot of times I got to get those accounts out of dispute. Hey, it's been another great week, folks. Listen to me. If you want more of this information, sign up for our credit webinar on February 12th. Okay? Send your name, phone number, email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Sammy, thanks for being part of the show again this week. Next week, you will not want to miss. We're going to tell you how to improve those credit scores. The same piece of pie, we're going to go back in and I'm going to tell you some tricks of the trade. If you want to reach me doing my day job, 504-207-7600. Till next week, Gumbo Nation, keep stirring the pot. Thank you, brother. Yep, okay, that's what I wanted to ask you. Yep. All right, I'll see you in a little bit, brother. Yep. All right, Facebook. Hey, hope you enjoyed the show. Check it out. Visit mortgagegumbo.com. I got to remember to start. I got to get used to looking over there.